All right, let's do a quick test. We'll see how this is all working out. Should be able to hear me pretty well. It's been an interesting weekend. Just wanted to check in again on the podcast front. We did record now episode 3. Now, because my previous channel is gone, I still have a lot of relationships from different things. So I hope you have a chance to maybe listen to some of the input and feedback that also comes from another creator um, for the Packers, and he's a Lakers fan as well. We had a lot of interesting, deeper discussion about some of the things we've been talking about already on the channel. And then inevitably, I kind of ended up throwing myself a little bit under the bus, but it's not a bad thing for my channel. We're doing a lot of live streams on week 3. I've had the weekend off, so it made a little bit of sense to go online and see how it really is out there. I mean, as a newer channel, it's hard to really get engaged with a bunch of, or compete rather, with another whole bunch of other streamers that are bringing the energy a lot of the times. And for Monday Night Football, I mean, it's already televised. I think it's on ESPN, so a good amount of people, if you have television, you're still able to watch it. But I did my best to maybe cut out some of the advertisements, just speak when I could during those advertisements, engage with some of the people that were. So I think all those that did find the channel by way of that over the weekend, we're up to 21 subscribers currently. But again, like, it's just a trickle effect. I think in a way, as humanity, we've kind of got to this point where we completely engage for almost no time, and it's of no value. I was able to watch Slita, which is I forget the exact thing, but he's basically a Atlanta Falcons Braves fan out of Atlanta. Does a lot of really cool content for them, but he's at about 2,000 or so subscribers, and because of the way that the game against the Bears played out, and he's overly dramatic and emotional at the end of the game. And it's one of those things, like, the whole reason for what I've been essentially trying to talk about is that, as creators, we have to get to this point where we can be able to kind of keep our cool, be a good representation for the team, like, be in accordance, because it's those types of characteristics in today's world that kind of allow the channel to rise up. And there you go, Atlanta, rise up, keep your chill, grow naturally. But then when we're talking about King Howie, also there's a limitation sometimes too, when YouTube's bringing in and talking about, if you have a channel that you haven't really uploaded to in 6 months, let's say, you can get demonetized. Like, you lose these things. You have to have 4,000 actual hours within a 12-month cycle and maintain your 1,000 subscribers in order to maintain a monetization. On top of that, you cannot use any copyrighted materials, or you kind of have to abide by the rules. So even on my live stream for Monday Night Football, the audio I was able to bring in from another channel, and then kind of highlight a different graphic on it, and then engage personally. And I mean, I had 1,000, almost 1,100 people come in and out of that stream over the course of about 2 hours and 20 minutes, because I got in there about the second quarter. It's funny because you get to the end of the half, and right at that timeline, it's like a peak. And although this is the first time I ever did that, there was still up to like 25 people in that stream at one given time. They're just finding it naturally. It is really important these days to like maintain the thumbnails and do something fairly professional for it. But Knox Studios LLC's channel isn't necessarily consistent in that front. And I did tell people there at the end, like, I'm trying to do more of a podcast. So I did spend a good amount of time this weekend diving into the NFL. I still took advantage of a good amount of time getting Kiwi out, but we haven't really been able to take advantage of another extended weekend and go to a different location so I can continue the vlog. So we'll get back to that in due time when that opens up. But for the sake of the podcast, it's an amazing experience to kind of come back in and see how much people think that you're going to fully engage and get right back into it. And it feels that way. It feels as though I could just throw myself right back in, and it's such an easy demographic in a sense to really get those watch times or watch hours and engage with the community. But at the same time, it's so fickle. The people within that network, they're only going to engage if you're really following through in the long run with their team or for their purpose. And that's when like this authenticity, I think, falls off the wagon. It doesn't become or continue to be me. It continues to be on other people's pursuits, and that's kind of the point. But Monday next week, Atlanta is going to Green Bay, so I kind of want to see what the vibe was for Monday Night Football, which was another reason why I did that. So it's all good. I mean, win-win. Got to spend a good amount of time. The downside this week is with the fish tank back here, I had a lot of aggression going on with the cichlids. Not that you might care, but while I was doing the podcast with King Howie, unfortunately, I had been back and forth with the Jack Dempsey that got injured by the Green Terror, and so I put the Jack Dempsey back in the main tank for the heat and took the Green Terror out and put him there, but he was still really healthy. And apparently, and I was able to watch it when I went back, but Kiwi in the back is chewing on my Green Terror, so I did lose a very beautiful potential fish that was growing. But he did get really overly aggressive, and so I kind of have to count it in a way as a blessing, because that fish was getting to a point where his aggression could have taken things out. So not the best of all weekends in a way, but I can't really complain. So I did want to just do an update via the podcast playlist to tell you guys, I did engage here with the NFL. I did reach out to Sleeta. There's a potential I might do a live stream next Monday. If I have to go to work, then I'll just do it when I get home, and I'll bring his channel on or try and get in communication with him to maybe have him bring me on his channel. Either way, Atlanta's been having a shit storm of a season, and the Green Bay Packers were starting off like on fire. So those momentums are kind of due to continue. I don't see any way that can't just absolutely continue with what it is. But anyway, we're not gonna do too much with for this week. I'll have a couple days off. We'll see how the weather is. I want to get out and play with the cameras, but my coworker, who we've been thinking about doing a short film with, he's been a little flaky about the timing of doing a good amount of recording and putting together a short film for the motorcycle, so I can use more of my Adobe software suite and whatnot. But yeah, other than finishing and losing a fish and getting back in the NFL and spending some time out, the weather's dipping considerably. We're getting ready to turn over into October, and I did get a new neighbor here this week too. So the last neighbors got evicted because they were horrible. Anyway, I appreciate you guys chiming in. Peace, love, happiness. Enjoy your week. Do something kind for your neighbor or another human being, and let's keep building each other up. All the blessings in the world to you. Peace.